Hey everyone, look how nice it is out here. I haven't had a video like this in a really long time. I've been traveling a whole lot and the weather was absolutely beautiful. So seeing something like this with this snow right now, it's a little different for my channel. Also, I haven't posted a video about cameras in a really long time, and I really enjoy making those kinds of videos too. So today I'm going to be talking about why you should consider getting a Canon sx740 HS in 2022. So if you're a subscriber of my content, you probably know that I have been Alright, so if you're a subscriber of my channel, you probably know I've been traveling a whole lot recently, and you may not have known that a lot of that vlog was actually filmed on this little camera here. Now, I've pretty much had it with me all through those trips, and it actually was with me even before then. I had it for about 2 years now, since almost the start of COVID. Yeah, I've had this camera for quite a while now, and I really come to love it. It's honestly a really great camera, and here are 5 reasons why you should get it in 2022. Even though the camera was like built in 2019, it's 3 years old now, you should still definitely consider getting it because reason number 1, it's zoom. Now this zoom is actually crazy. Like, I'll just show you. Alright, so I'm recording a video right now, fully zoomed out. And that is all the way zoomed in. And I can zoom in even closer, like that. My hands are shaking a little bit though because it's absolutely freezing out here. But still, that zoom is incredible. So yeah, as you can see, that zoom is like crazy. For me to get that kind of zoom on this camera, which I'm recording on right now, I would need to have 3 lenses. One just like wide angle lens, general, that kind of thing. And then I would need to have a telephoto one and even more telephoto. To get that kind of zoom on here, I would need to take a whole entire camera bag with me. And just with this tiny little camera, I can just slip it in my pocket and just, I'm good to go. It's so awesome because I was able to sell some stock videos of just like a zoomed up close-up flag, which I otherwise wouldn't be able to get with a camera like this because it's just too big, and secondly, I don't have a lens that zooms that close up. The most telephoto I have on this camera is 300 millimeters. On this, it goes to 960. Now, if you don't know what that basically means that this can go more than 3 times zoomed than this camera, which altogether the setup for this camera is like probably $4,000-ish. So for $500, this zoom is absolutely insane. Secondly, I'm going to talk about its size. Now this kind of goes like hand in hand with the last one, because for me to have such a big zoom on this camera, as I mentioned earlier, I would need an entire camera bag. This, again, it's this tiny. Like, I don't even know how they were able to do it. Like, this is basically like nothing in your pocket. It's so tiny. The batteries are this big. So like having this in your pocket and like 2 extra batteries is like nothing compared to carrying a whole backpack with my other camera like this. Now that doesn't mean I don't like this camera. I absolutely love the setup that I have right now. It's just this is a lot more practical sometimes for just on the go, running around, that kind of thing, instead of always having to just use a big setup. So it's super practical and tiny, which is my second reason why you should get this in 2022. Okay, so the third reason is the build quality. Now, I know I probably shouldn't be using this in this kind of weather right now where it's snowing. This camera is weather sealed that I'm using right now. This is not. But despite it not being weather sealed, I've used it in light drizzle, snow like this, even more snow than this, and it's been completely fine. It's been through freezing cold, hot, from hot to cold to hot again, that kind of, it's just totally durable. I've had another Canon camera like this before. It wasn't the sx740 HS, it was a different point and shoot, but the lens, it got like all messed up around after using it for a long time, always in my camera bag, that kind of stuff. This, it looks brand new other than like the snow that's on it right now and the water and that kind of stuff, but it's basically amazing build quality. I've like, out of everywhere I've been, everywhere this camera has been, it's been totally fine. It's never let me down. So far, I've had absolutely zero issues with it at all. The only issue I've had is it said this battery compatibility like issue thing with this battery. It happened once, but this is a third-party battery, so I think that's probably why, but it doesn't say that anymore, so I think, I don't know, it was just something. The build quality is basically really good, and there's zero issues with the original battery, so definitely if you're getting this camera, it's going to last you, and that is super important when you're choosing a camera, especially when you're on the go. You want it to work for you. Okay, reason number 4 you should get this camera in 2022 is because the microphone is really good. Here, just take a listen. Alright, so right now I'm using the Canon sx740 HS to record this. Listen to the audio quality, it's really good. Now, one thing I do have to mention is that with wind, sometimes the audio isn't that good, but you can get a little like tiny wind muff thing on top of this camera, and then it ends up sounding a whole lot better. I've been thinking of investing in something like that. It's actually pretty cheap, and it just like sticks on top of the camera, and that is supposed to help with some wind reduction. But just listen to the sound quality. It's actually really good, especially for a little camera like this. The Sony small cameras aren't as good for like audio. This Canon one here, I'm super happy with. Alright, so the final reason why you should get this awesome little camera is because it's so easy to use. They have this like guide mode, let me show you. Alright, it's really hard to see because it is so bright outside, but they have this menu like guide mode that you can turn on. Oh, that's me. And it basically explains everything to you. Like even here, this tells you what it does. Set up single or continuous shooting, self-timer, that kind of stuff. Change the image quality, set the recording quality and frame rate, all that stuff. It explains it all to you. This camera couldn't be easier to use for beginners. Like, it's completely night and day with this camera that I'm shooting with right now. You basically gotta figure stuff out on your own on this camera. Not saying that that's a bad thing once you already get to know the stuff, because it might be easier not to have little pop-ups to like interrupt your view. And for a professional camera like this, it might be better for something like that. But for this, it's amazing. Like you learn the ecosystem super quick with this little camera. Alright, so I'm going to give you guys one more bonus reason why you should be getting this camera, and that is that it takes really cool macro pictures. Let me show you. Alright, for that last photo, I literally had the bottom of the lens touching the piece of wood. Like, it's that good at macro. If you want to take macro photos, this is like the best camera I have used for that. Like, I seriously haven't used a better camera for macro. Macro photography, you should get this camera. One thing though that I do want to note with macro, it's only really good at macro if you don't zoom in. You have to be the widest angle possible. Once you start zooming in, it's not really that good at macro. But to me, that's okay, it doesn't really matter. If I'm doing macro, I'm gonna get up close to the subject anyways. So for macro, this is really cool. Alright, so I hope you learned something new today in this video, and hopefully you do consider getting this camera. I think you will enjoy it. One quick thing I do want to mention is that the low light isn't that good, but I think I'm going to do a low light test in the future with this camera, so stay updated, subscribe to the channel, and leave a like. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.